What's up, everyone, and welcome back to the Wait, What Are We Talking About podcast. My name is Bret, aka Enigma9011, and you can catch this podcast live over on twitch.tv/Enigma9011 every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Check it out over there. Chat with us, join on the conversation. Would love to have you in on all the fun. But if you can't catch live, that's A-OK. Go over to YouTube or podcast services. You can check it out over there where it's dropped topic by topic and put as one big video and MP3 for your amusement on the following Friday. If you guys want to support, you guys can always support by getting some merch, some hot merch like this Enigma shirt over on the merch store there. Love you for it. Also, wherever you're watching this program or listening to this program, YouTube, Spotify, SoundCloud, Google Podcasts, Apple Play. I flipped those. Google Play, Apple Podcasts, wherever you're listening and watching, leave a review. Let us know what you're thinking of the show. Let others know what you think of the show, too. That support, while it may seem small, does actually go a long way. So, appreciate you guys. Please do that. And we'll love you for it. So yes, we're back after a month-plus hiatus. Wowzers. First off, I'd like to say what I meant to say a month and a half ago. I've seen the numbers of podcast listens. Thank you guys. Those numbers have been going up. And they've been pretty spread across, like not just the new episodes, like we're going back. People are listening. So I appreciate your support. Thank you for doing that. Thank you for putting this on during your workday, during your car ride, for entertainment, for laughs. You want to hear a man rant about fucking, what is that stupid movie? The vampires. You want to, Twilight. Wow, that was a brain fart. You want to hear me rant about that? You want to hear me rant about wrestling, video games, whatever it is. Thank you for giving this a chance, giving it an opportunity. I appreciate you. So now let's address the elephant in the room as my opening topic. Our break, our hiatus. What happened? Why'd you take a break? All this stuff. I don't know how long this topic will go. I don't know how real this topic will get. So, if you skip this topic, because I get it, we're starting on a potentially negative note. Totally fine. Skip ahead. You do you. You know, I'm not going to judge. I'm not going to know. Skip ahead to the fun stuff. Topic 1 is our break. Why did we take our break? What happened? All that stuff. So, where to begin? We took about a month and a half break from content. No streaming, no podcasts, no YouTube videos, no really creating anything. And why was that? I'm not 100% sure. I have some ideas of what it could be. And mainly the thing was stress, I assume. There was a lot of stress going on. Not necessarily only in the content aspect, but in a lot of different ways. For my work, or at least where I'm working currently, it's very seasonal. So summer season is our busy season. We work extended hours. We work extra shifts. Totally fine. It's expected. Planned, I guess you could say. So that was going on. And there may have been some stresses at work, not from work itself. Nobody there was, making things harder. Nobody was negative. It was all a positive and healthy experience over there. Love my coworkers. They're great. Potentially, those extra hours, my different shift being a little bit later shift from a volunteer basis, could have added to the stress. I felt like I had to move super duper fast to get products out, orders out, shipments out. I felt like I was running around at points like a chicken with my head cut off, just trying to cover different stations, cover different bases, making sure things were moving, feeling stressed because if I'm not doing my job, it's a whole assembly line process. If I'm not doing my part, it's going to hold back that person from doing their part, which holds back from this. So there was all that. Self-induced stress from there, getting into my own head, whatever. So that was part of it. Secondly, personally, I felt a lot of stress and anxiety from, I guess, my own goals, ambitions, things of that nature. Now, when you're at work, what do you think about at work? Yes, obviously you're thinking about the task ahead of you and what you're actively working on, but you think about your free time. What do you want to do in your free time? Oh, I want to go hang out with X person. I want to play this game. I want to watch this movie. I want to watch this show. You want to think about what are those activities during your free time. And that was happening. Great. But then when it came down to it, for some reason, all those ambitions, or I guess energy to do any of those things, was gone. And it was almost non-existent, I guess. And for me, once again, probably self-induced, it felt like a waste of time. And it made me very angry. Like, I'm spending all this time thinking about these things that I want to do. I actively want to do. I want to play these games. I want to watch these shows, whatever it is, for myself. And when it comes down to it and I don't do those things, I felt like it was a giant waste of my time. And I was just getting angry at myself constantly. Like, what the fuck are you doing with your time? Why are you sitting here not knowing what to do? Why is there no drive to do these things that you want to do for fun, or do the stream, or do the podcast? Like, you think about these things constantly. How do you want to get better? How do you want to improve? How do you want to ideas for the show, programs and projects you want to work on to have it fun and make it exciting? And then when it comes down to it, you're just a lazy piece of shit who doesn't do anything. You don't actively put in the time or the work, or you're not using it well enough, or whatever it is. And it was a whole weird conundrum of just like, why is this a thing? Why aren't you putting in this effort that you claim that you want to do throughout this time where you can't do it? And then when it comes down to it, you're just meh, whatever. So I was down on myself in that regard, and like angry constantly and confused and whatever. And I think this kind of bled over into other areas, whether it was work, whether it was relationships, where I had such a short fuse. And it's things I should not be angry about or shouldn't bother me in the slightest. Something would be asked, something would be brought up, and instantly, just explosion of emotion, anger, frustration, whatever it was. I would be snippy. I would be angry. I would be just... there would be no patience left at all. And I like I said, I don't know 100% what the factors were. I have some ideas of what they could be, as I've listed out for you, and maybe some other stuff. But it wasn't healthy, for sure. So, excuse me. So there was that. And I just felt very unsatisfied, I guess, with how things were going. And like I've said before, work was great. And it's one of those things where I don't feel there was any justification for how I was feeling. Like, there's no reason I should have felt A, B, C, D emotions, whatever. I have a great job. I know what I'm doing there. It's not difficult. the people are great. I'm in a great relationship with someone I can be open and honest with, and myself. Like, there's no filter. That sounds weird. There's no, like, I don't feel like I need to think about what I'm going to say, or like analyze everything. And that's good. That's what you want in a partner, right? Is someone you could be your true self with. And that's great. I have a great support system with, you know, my parents. I know friendships here and there, like, love my friends to death. Oh boy, we're getting to the real stuff. Love my friends to death. But sometimes I felt like there's this barrier, there's this wall where I'd reach out, hey, just checking in, how's it going? There's no reciprocation. And I get it. Everyone has their life to live. Everybody's got a lot going on. For me, it felt like that relationship wasn't there anymore. In some cases. I know there's others who have kept up and have, you know, been around and stuff like that. But I don't want to call out any names. I'm not going to do that. But people, like, I've had a relationship for a long time, and like it's strong as bricks or whatever. I don't know. It just has poofed away. And I get it. Time, things, factors, it all happens. But it just frustrated me even more of like, what happened? What, did I do something? What happened? Did I say something? Did I do something? Did something wrong? Like, I just didn't understand. So that was another factor. And that was another thing that was adding to it. Was like, there's no reason I should be mad because other things are good. The work's good. The apartment's good. Financially, I'm good. I'm not like, you know, breaking records bank-wise, but like, I'm in no stress under that. Like, the relationship's good for the most part. Like, why are you angry? There's no reason to be angry. And it's just confusing and makes you even more mad. Like, why do you feel this way? So these things all kind of came to a head, I guess, during this summer season, or at least it felt like it got to a level where I ran out. I was at the end of my fuse. I don't know if I was burning it on both ends or whatever, but there's no more patience. There was no more, I don't know, control, I guess you could say, from my perspective. It didn't feel like that barrier between stable and unstable. there was nothing there. So yeah, I decided to take the break for that reason. And, you know, I'm not here 100% to be like, oh, I'm better. I feel 100% better. No, there are times definitely still that it feels like the end sounds very dramatic, but like there's nothing I can do. I mean, even just the other day, laid down on the floor and kind of had a moment for no reason. The rest of the day was totally fine. I just got into my head about something. So I feel better than I did. But I'm not sure if I'm not where I feel I should be and how I should be acting. Acting sounds weird, but like, I'm not Bret at this moment. I don't feel like I felt years ago where, yeah, there were stresses here and there, but like I felt I could be myself and I felt like I was in control. There's some things now that I feel I still need to get back into the swing of things. And I'm not sure entirely what to do. I've had some people reach out concerned, thinking I was depressed. I appreciate them for doing that. I don't think I'm at that level. And I know some people have recommended, like, oh, you should go to a therapist. Talk it out. I believe in therapy. People need it. Absolutely. Do your thing. And this is very dumb to say. I don't think I deserve therapy because there are people who have it way worse than me. I know that's dumb to say. And whatever. But for right now, and I've talked to Lady about this, I want to put my best foot forward into fixing myself, quote unquote there for podcast listeners, into getting back to where I want to be under my own power before I reach out towards these resources. There are things I actively know I can be better at. I can be better with an exercise routine. I haven't done anything since leaving Taekwondo and the whole COVID thing started. I get that. I can be better with that. Maybe it's a simple fix as that. Maybe it's a simple fix of a sleep routine. I feel I've been better with it, but I get it. You know. I don't know. I feel there's things I can do under my own power that I need to do. And then it circles back to the point earlier of like, oh, you don't feel motivated to do it. And you're telling yourself this is the way to fix it. And then you have no energy or like no motivation to do those things. It's like, what the fuck? You know the solution. Why aren't you doing it? And then it just adds to the whole thing. It's a whole vicious circle here. But that's where my head's been at recently. And I will say, the break did help. I did miss making content. I did miss doing the podcast. I miss playing Grounded with Jeff. I miss, hanging out with you guys in chat here or listening wherever you are. Thank you for doing that. I did miss that. And that's good. That's important. That means it's important to me that I want to keep pursuing this, right? That's good. Great. Where was I going with this? Oh, the break helped. I felt like I was able to decompress. I was able to take some time, just do some things for me, whether it was playing some games, which we'll get to later, whether it was going on walks here and there, just on my own, just to kind of get out of the house. Jesus Christ, somebody's street racing right now. Get out of the house, go do that, or just not have an obligation after work. It was literally just, I don't have to do anything right now. Felt good. And it took the time to enjoy some things that, I wanted to do. Didn't feel like I was rushed or like there was a time commitment every second, which granted, I like schedules, so it's a little contradictory. But I do feel the break helped. Obviously, the busy season of the summer also stopped. So that's another layer to this cake that may have helped. Like I said, 100%, I don't think I'm back at 100%. And there are still things I feel like I need to work on and deal with, whether it's personally or socially, whatever it may be. But I do overall think the break helped. I think there are still avenues that I need to improve, once again, based on the two things I just said before, but also from a goal standpoint. Okay, what do I want to accomplish? What do I want to achieve? And from a content perspective, whether it's this podcast or whether it's, the stream, what do I want to accomplish out of it? One, I want to make it fun again. Not that it wasn't fun, but it should be that mentality of I'm doing this for the right reasons. Would it be nice to make it big? Whatever. Sure. That's not the goal. That's not the goal. I'm going to be very transparent with you right now. That's not the goal. I think the goal for me, and I told Lady this, and I appreciate her being a very listening ear, very supportive listening ear. There we go. There's the term. And being a good partner. My goal for the stream, make it fun. I would like to build the stream to be, let's be honest here, a nice little side project. This is not going to be the thing that I quit my job for. It's going to be the thing that I live my life off of. No. I want this to be a nice side project. Maybe I make a couple bucks here and there. If not, I would like this to be something I feel fulfilled with as a side project. That's something, I don't know, I've always had in my head of like, you should do something that's rewarding to you. Not that work is not rewarding. Both the previous job and the job I'm doing currently. Great atmospheres. Were there some things, yes, that were a little stressful from time to time? Of course. I get that. I've been very fortunate with the 3 jobs that I have had, were for the most part all rewarding, all very satisfying. I get that. That's not a luxury for everybody, and I apologize to those people. Hopefully it gets better. For me, that's great. I could, do my whole tenure where I'm at, where I was, I'd be fine. This side project is like where I want to get my fulfillment from. So the goal for that, like I said, is just to be fun, to maybe build to that level where it's a little bit of a side gig. Great. If it's not, then I want to be fulfilled from it. So obviously there's stresses that come along with that. I feel like I'm jumping all over and I have no good plan here of tackling this topic. I apologize. I also want to be realistic with myself. And I know this is it's a game here on Twitch, on YouTube, on podcast services. Anyone and everyone can do it, right? Anyone and everyone can do it. Not everyone and anyone can do it successfully. Now that I know that's a gray term. Success can be defined by you in many different ways, whether it's financially, spiritually, physically, I don't know, whatever. It could be defined many ways. There's only a select few that are going to blow up, right? I get that. That's why I don't want that anymore, because that's not a healthy goal to achieve. If it happens, hey, hurrah, good job. But I can't compare myself to X, Y, Z, content, creation, person, group, whatever. No. How am I going to get satisfied by this? What is my attainable goal? And like I said, that's just, if it's the side thing, cool. I just want to build this bubble that we have and make it a positive bubble, and let's have fun in this bubble. So how do I get that? My best estimate is to really put in 100% now, not that it wasn't before, into really, I guess, creating for this. So looking into avenues for creating, whether it's videos for Instagram. I don't want to get a TikTok, but maybe a TikTok. Really just investigating these avenues of like, okay, where can I put stuff out to? How can I be more effective with my workflow? And do that. Put 100% effort into it. And I talked with Lady about it and being like, if I burn out again, or I'm like, I realize this is not for me, this is not the path I want to take, it's not fun anymore. At least I will know at that point in time, I did everything I could to succeed. I did everything. There's no if, ands, buts, nothing. Hypotheticals. I will know I put all of my energy into it. I did every little thing I could, and it didn't work out. That, won't feel great in the moment, but at least I'll know I've laid everything out on the table that I could, and it didn't work out. I'd be fine with that. But for right now, that's my thought process. We're going to do this again. We're going to put the positive energy into it. We're going to put all of our effort into it, controlling it in a good, healthy way. And we're going to put our best foot forward. And then whatever happens, happens. I don't know if any of that made sense. I apologize if it didn't. But that's my thought process now on the content side of things. Okay. Let's make it the best it can. And, try and be good with it. I feel like I'm rambling now, at least on the break part. But basically, I guess to wrap it all in a nice, neat bow, I was stressed. I was anxious. I was angry. I was frustrated. Not at anybody specifically, more at myself and just how I was feeling. Nothing felt valid. Nothing felt justified for why I was feeling these ways. And it just kept building. I didn't feel like I was myself. I didn't feel like I had any type of filter or patience that I used to have. And I want to get back to that point, essentially. So there is still work to be done, for sure. There are still things I need to improve. The break felt good. I appreciate your patience. I appreciate those people who reached out and listened, etc. Like I said, I'm not trying to blame any individuals, anything like that. If it came off that way, I do apologize. I know everyone has their own life. I know everyone has their own struggles. I do not want you to struggle. I apologize that you are going through your things. I want, you to push past your own demons as well. That's something I'm not going to once again name names, but that's something I had to deal with during the summer break too, is someone actively reaching out to me on the end of their rope. Well, not literally, but planning on committing suicide. They reached out to me and needed that assistance. And that was a whole nother layer to this cake of I don't know if I could do this right now. Luckily, somehow, I pulled that out of my ass and was able to talk them down. And they've gone on their own journey of healing. And, I'm glad for them for doing that. But yeah, it's just another thing to, during all of this, to just kind of be like, oh boy, all right, got to deal with that now. So yeah, I once again, rambling. I'm getting better. I want to continue to continue to get better. I'm sorry if I seemed like it was blaming anybody. That's not my intention. I understand everybody has their own stuff, and you definitely should focus on your own things, So yeah, that's where I'm at. That's emotionally what happened during the break and why it happened for so long. I'm looking forward to getting back to where I was and the positivity and good vibes and everything. And we'll go from there. Yeah, I don't know. Thanks for listening. Hopefully that was, I don't know, informative, I guess. That sounds really dumb. Thanks for listening. I'll just leave it at that. Thanks for listening. Thanks for being there. I know some people left some nice comments in the chat live, so I will read those later.